What's up everyone and welcome to the club. Today we're creating a portrait illustration of Twisted Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. Now today's subject involves a lot of layers and complex details, but we're going to simplify this process by breaking this down to basic shapes. Let's begin by sketching a line coming down the center of our page. So we'll start at the very top, just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom. Now we don't want to go too dark because we'll eventually want to erase this out. Now going to the center, we're going to draw another line going across from left to right. Let's use these lines to create a circle in the center of our page. So from the middle, go all the way up toward the top, mark off the top of our circle. Let's take that same distance down towards the bottom. So right about here, we'll mark this off. And we'll do the same thing across this horizontal line. So taking the distance from the center over towards the left and right side. Let's connect the center point with a curve to create our circle. I'm just going to rough this in. The circle doesn't have to be perfect. You can go back and just smooth this out. And we just want to get the right size and placement in the center of our page. Let's go to the side of our circle, sketch another line coming all the way down towards the bottom. Now from the center, we're going to sketch a half circle coming down towards the bottom of our main circle. So we're going to start with the left side, and then go over towards the right. Let's start building out the shape of the head. We're going to start from the left side. We're going to angle this up and then out, past the side of our circle towards that center line. Go to the right and do the same thing. Let's round out the cheek. We're going to go up and then bend that in. Now from the top of the cheek, we're just going to bend this down and then in towards the side of the muzzle. Now you want to leave a gap in the center and go to the left side and draw a half oval. We're going to go up toward the top of the eye and then bring that down towards that center line. Let's go to the right and do the same thing. And then along the bottom on the inside, we're going to sketch two circles for the pupils. Let's go in between these two lines in the center, draw a straight line going across. Connect the ends with a half circle, coming down and up across the bottom of the nose. Let's go up to the top and draw the center spine of the ears. We're going to start on the left side, draw a straight angle line going up and out. Let's line this up over on the right and do the same thing. Let's bend the ears going up and in toward the top of the ears. Let's go to the left side. We're just going to angle this down. And then on the right, we're going to pull this in. Now from this point, we're just going to add a straight angled line going across the width of the ear. And then from the top, draw a straight line. Now we're going to block in the shape of the ear. Let's start from the outside, pull this down and in on top of the head. Use that same angle. Let's go up to the top. Just going to pull this down towards the outside point. Do the same thing across the inside. And then from the top, we're going to angle this down and in towards that center point along the tip of the ear. Now we're going to go back and draw the top row of teeth. Let's start from the cheeks. We're going to step in, angle the teeth coming down and in. Now I'm going to connect the ends with a curve coming down underneath the muzzle, go across and then up. Now right where the bottom edge of the teeth meets that outside line, it's going to angle this down and then out. The side, add another curve coming down and then in towards the center line, then it's out and up towards the right. Let's connect these 2 points with a curve and just follow that same curve along the top, coming down and up. Now we're going to wrap the lower jaw around the chin. Let's start from this point, then this out and then down towards the side. And from here, come across, just overlapping the chin in towards the center, and we want to leave a gap in the middle. Let's angle this down and then out towards the bottom of the jaw. And then from the outside, we're going to curve this down and then in towards the bottom of the chin. Now that I have the rough sketch in place, let's go back and lightly erase some of those guidelines. Now that we have a clean rough sketch and we're happy with the balance and composition, we're going to go in with the tip of our pencil and start refining the shape and adding some more details. Let's start by adding some more shape to the nose. Just going to round out the top, just working our way around the side. Now I'm not going too dark with my pencil. I still want to leave an opportunity to make some corrections if we need to. Add that trim along the top. Now from the center, just going to work our way down towards the bottom of the muzzle. And we're just going to split this off. Now along the bottom edge of the mouth, I'm just going to add some folds. Just going to pull this up and adding some tension going up along the cheeks. So adding some folds going up. Just working our way up toward the top of the muzzle. And then from the top, adding some folds coming down. And just working our way across the base of the eye with these folds. Again, we're just pulling these out and then down. Just adding some overlaps. Now at the same time, I want to add some cracks across the bottom edge. Just going to pull this up and then down. Just adding some scars and openings. Add a few bumps across the top of the head. And now I'm just going to add some folds and shape to the eyes. So just adding a fold across the inside of the brow, going around that oval, also adding a few cracks. I'm just going to raise the right eye a little bit higher, adding some cracks across the top. And then I'm going to add that trim around the eyes. I'm just going to add some open scars across the top of the head. And then we'll trace out the pupil. And a smaller circle in the center. Now I'm just going to add those sharp teeth in the middle, just leaving a gap underneath the mouth. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of room for the gum line. I'm going to start to bend the teeth in, then add a few just pointing out. You can see that I'm staying within that guideline. I'm going to go a bit bigger on the outside with the teeth. And you just want to get the general shape. I'm not going too detailed at this stage. And then along the bottom, I'm just going to add some more shape to the jaw and bending that in towards the chin. We're going to do the same thing, adding those teeth from the bottom pointing up. So we're starting along that line and just pulling that up towards the top. And we'll start to bend the teeth going up and in. And I want to modify the shape of the lower jaw. Just pulling this up to add a fold. Add some wrinkles. Just going to pull the jaw out along the side and then back in. Let's do the same thing on the right. I'm just going to add the gum line around. And this could be a random shape, working our way around the mouth and then back in. Now I'm just going to add that layer of teeth along the inside. We're just going to point them up and in. Sort of caving the teeth and the jaw towards the inside. And as you go towards the outside, I'm just going to bend these up and out, just to create an interesting composition and silhouette. Now I'm going to move up to the top and add some shape to the ears. Just going to round out the sides and just taper that in towards the bottom. Just bend that seam in the center. And work our way up towards the top. It's going to take out that sharp point in the ear and then rounding out the top. Now once we're happy with the rough sketch, we can go in and darken up our contours. Now I'm going to start with the eye area. We can always add more detail as we go. So at this stage, I'm just tracing out the contours, the lines, before we get into any shading. And even at this stage, we still have an opportunity to go back and modify the shape if we need to. And I always like to add a little bit more depth and detail as I go. So adding those cracks. You see that adding a little bit of bevel along the inside. So coming down toward that point, we're going to draw the inside edge along the front, just giving it some thickness. Trace out that trim on the inside of the ears. Again, just adding a rough form along the inside. Now I'm working my way across the bottom. And now I'm going to go back and redefine those teeth. Now along the top of each tooth, we're going to add a curve with a gum line. I'm just going to trace out the bottom row of teeth. Also tucking that gum line in underneath. Now that we finished tracing out all the contours, I'm going to go in and start adding the various tones. Let's start by darkening up the inside of the eyes going around the pupils. And then going down, just darkening up the areas in between the top and bottom row teeth. And I also want to darken up the inside edge of the lower jaw. I'm just going to blend that in. So starting off dark by the teeth and then fading that up. Stop right about there. And then continue on the right side. Go back and darken up the side of the nose. And I'm just going to fade that out towards the center to create a little bit of a highlight. And I'll add an even shade along the top. Let's darken up the inside of those scars. I'm going to add some scars across the base of the ear along the inside. Just fill those in. And now we've come to the shading portion of our drawing. We want to create a consistent lighting scheme for this drawing. So we want to imagine that the lights come from the top left of our page, going across our character in an angle. So the highlights will sit along the top edge and the shadows sitting on the opposite side. Now let's demonstrate this along this ear. So along the bottom edge, just want to lightly shade in the bottom and then fade that up as you go up toward the top, towards the highlight. Now from the tip, just going to darken this up because this will be in shadow. And as you get up to the top, we want to fade that out. Now let's do the same thing along that second section. Now this area is going to cast a shadow. So we're going to darken that up and then fade that out towards the left. Let's add a little bit more shadow along the top and then blend that down. Let's do the same thing along the bottom. So again, shading this along the bottom and fading that up. We want to go a bit darker on the right side and then fade that across. Let's also cast a shadow for that second section on top. Add a little bit more shadow across the bottom, just to show that it's folding over. Now we're going to go over towards the right ear. We're going to shade in that front edge, going up towards that seam. Shade this in and then fade that up. I'm going to add a shadow across the bottom. And now I want to add a shadow across the bottom of the cheeks and then fade that up towards the highlight to right about there. And just working our way towards the inside. Now I'm also going to shift the shadow over towards the right. So the right side of the head will be a little bit darker than the left, but we want to fade that in towards a highlight on the top left. Go a little bit darker on the side. And also the right side of the muzzle. Now I'm going to go back and just darken up the gun line, going around the teeth and the cheeks. Again, I'm going to go darker on the right side. I'm going to darken up the right side of the chin, and then blend that across. Darken up the bottom coming up. And we're also going to cast a shadow on the left side. Let's add a little bit of shade along the outside of the pupils. And we'll go in with a final level of detail. Now I'm just going to rough in the whiskers with the side edge of our pencil to get the thickness going out from the muzzle. Now I'm going to finish off my drawing by adding a little bit more detail and shading, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Twisted Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Hey everyone, if you really want to discover your artistic potential, then join our Club Masterclass membership. For just $1 a month, you'll gain instant access to exclusive members-only drawing tutorials, virtual art camps, and much, much more. Join our thriving community of passionate artists just like you and let your creativity soar. So just click that link in the description and I'll see you in the club.